everyone, and welcome to the reading of the week for February 4th to 11th, 2020. For those of you who are new, my name is Titania. You are most welcome here. And please understand that you are an important part of this reading. So your presence is welcome, and the energy that you bring to our gathering is welcome. Now we're going to set the tone for the reading. I invite you to just close your eyes and be fully present. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Just drop back into your body. Be here now. And just see a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, anchoring you deeply in this present moment, down into Mother Earth, grounding you, knowing that that tree root is not only grounding you powerfully into your now, but is a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here with all of those who are most wishing to understand themselves and their relationship to life at this time in a good way. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we both personally and collectively most need to receive right now, and to use language that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective good. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the clearest and highest and best way possible for the highest and greatest good of everyone concerned. I'd also like to invite the 4 Archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, and of empowerment, of self-awareness. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming and being with us and holding us in a good way across time and space, wherever each of us is. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies of love, of light, of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of empowerment, of joy, of self-awareness, of growth is welcome to go now. Okay, let's get to it. I know there's a lot going on the planet right now, but my intention is to bring through what we most need to know right now for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. My thought, reflecting on it, meditating on it, has been we have to stay above it. We have to stay above the division, stay in a place of love, of light, of centeredness. And that's what I intend to support through these readings. Okay, so Creator, what do we most need to know this week for our personal and highest, greatest, and collective highest and greatest good? And by the way, happy Imbolc to all of those who celebrate. Or Groundhog Day for those who pay attention to that. Okay, recent past, the influence is waning, but it continues into our present, into our future. We have to maintain consciousness of this energy as we keep moving forward because it's important. This is the Ace of Swords. The name of the card is Force. We haven't seen this one in a while, which I think is kind of interesting. It's the card of pruning, which is appropriate as we are going into spring, and there's that requirement for those of you who are gardeners. The card of force is the intentional and deliberate use of force, of action, again, with deliberation, with intention, with presence of mind. You don't go swinging a sword without being really present and very intentional. Otherwise, you're bound to lop somebody's arm off. So this energy continues into our present, into our future. This idea of deliberately applying our mind, our consciousness, our intention, our will, focusing it so that when we take action, it is congruent, it is aligned, it is heartfelt, and on top of it, it's also this idea of cleaning things up as we go. There's also that quality of energy with this card. Aces are the acorns that grow into oak trees. It holds that potential, that possibility. And this card is all about As I said, pruning. And when we prune, we start with the dead, diseased, and crossing branches, because that will open up the circulation in the plant, reduce the injury to the plant, any sites of infestation or damage because of the breakages, that kind of thing. And then you assess the structure of the plant from that point and prune it so that light and air can circulate beautifully through the plant. That's how I understand pruning, and those of you who are more experienced, I'm sure can offer me some suggestions. But this is the qualities that I'm thinking of, or that are coming with this card, is this energy of deliberate application of our ideas in action, our being in alignment, our being congruent and intentional. And as a result, we're cleaning things up. We're getting rid of the old. We're cutting away the dead wood, and we're helping the light and the air to circulate through our lives personally and our world collectively. Because don't kid yourself. You may feel that you're sitting in your little corner of the universe and not necessarily contributing very much to the collective. But your energy, your set point, where you're putting your focus, is a contributing factor in our collective life force energy, which is why we really need to be responsible, especially anybody who is perhaps a little bit more intentional and conscious in their spiritual journey or their spiritual path. It behooves us to be very deliberate about intending to stay lofty, to stay in our heart, to stay kind, to stay compassionate, to stay in a good space energetically, because it helps everyone. It helps that collective field that really needs it right now. So the more we can stay in a congruent, clean, clear, aligned, pleasant, uplifting sort of frequency, our personal frequency helps to balance and care for the rest of our collective as well. And we need those pockets of light and clarity and balance very, very much. Present card, we have the card of frustration. Not altogether surprising. So this card, we see the farmer, he's leaning on his staff, he's looking at the results of his labors, and he's not happy. It's like, really, really, I've been working so hard and I'm still here. This hasn't grown. Like, what's the deal? So this is the quality of the energy in our present environment this week, this quality of frustration, of feeling like, okay, what the heck? And I suspect we are all feeling this in one way or the other. So all the more reason to stay clean and clear, all the more reason to help to stay on target, to stay focused. And you notice neither of these cards are emotional cards. I mean, this is a card of frustration, but this isn't a heart. So there's a quality of swords, ideas, and action. I mean, this is really about the suit of air. It's very practical in the sense that things need to be done and you do them. There's not a lot of emotional entanglement with this. And the Seven of Pentacles is an earth element card. So it's looking at the result of our efforts on the material plane, and we're like, ugh. Using that information to then clarify, because we know what we don't like or what we're not appreciating, what we're frustrated by, identifying that helps us to understand where we need to put our energy so that we can move forward. So this is past, present, and now our future. We have the Judgment card. Another really good card. Major Arcana, part of our soul growth, our collective growing time, personally and collectively. And what I really appreciate about this card is this hand that's reaching up out of the darker, heavier layers up to the light. There's that striving, that reaching, that stretching. And there's two levels to this card in the sense, probably more, but for now, there's Judgment, which is the energy of making wrong. Often when we're in judgment of something or someone, we've decided it's wrong and it's bad, and we put our hand out to stop it. But the higher octave of judgment is called discernment. Discernment is all about what is appropriate for me in this moment. Coming back to your heart, coming back to your body, because that's where your wisdom is. Your wisdom is embodied right here, right now. When we leave our bodies, we have a culture that's very mind obsessed. When we're not in our bodies, we're not connected to our preferences. We're not connected to our intuition. We're not connected to source. It's interesting, isn't it? That we're connected to source through our bodies. And we know what we want. We know our preferences. We're able to discern what is appropriate for us when we're here, when we're occupying this field of energy that is us. So near future, we're moving into this energy of discernment, of striving for what is highest and best for ourselves personally. And as we move in that direction, our impact on the collective is to help boost the energy all the way around. When we're in alignment with our hearts, because we are all one fundamentally, we are one great super soul expressed through each unique and individual person. We all have our unique experiences, we all have our unique perspectives, but we are all fundamentally connected. And when each of us strives to be our best, when each of us does our reaching and stretching and growing in good ways, it benefits the collective. It's just how it works. And so as we move this week, moving towards greater discernment from what we know doesn't work, what we don't like. We know what we want better, far better when we know what we don't like. And then this energy, this wielding of the sword, wielding of the pruning shears to clean up our field, to clean up our stuff. And one of the incredible gifts of this tumultuous time and all of this stuff that keeps getting kind of thrown up in our faces is it's lighting up our stuff. It's lighting up our stories. It's lighting up our beliefs. It's lighting up whatever is limiting us from being all that we can be here on the planet at this time. And rather than avoiding that and not paying attention to that, we need to pay attention and recognize it and see it and do what we can to heal it. Okay, foundation card. Why we're having the reading this week is the card of balance. A little bit like I was talking about at the beginning of the reading. Transcending the duality. Not getting, to the best of our abilities, not getting pulled into polarity. Us against them. Fighting, warring, this idea of an opponent, of the other. That's what we have to transcend. We need to find a place of congruence and balance within ourselves and then take action from that place in the world, from that heartfelt, grounded, loving, kind, compassionate space, knowing that we're not all going to be doing it the same way. And that's part of why we're here. We didn't all come to be clones. We didn't come to all look the same, or we would have. We would all look the same. We would all do the same things. We'd all be into the same stuff. But clearly we didn't. We're here to discern what is most appropriate for us and to express our lives through that congruence, that unique expression of the life force. And the best way we can do that is from a place of balance. So yes, there is a lot going on the planet that we are maybe frustrated by, but our awareness of our frustration and our being with that is helping us to realize what we do want so that we can move forward and create something beautiful in the world, personally and collectively. It is a process. It is a lot of work. We're doing it. And the more balanced and happier you can be as you do it, the bigger gift to yourself and the quality of your own experience, the gift to all of those immediately around you whose life you touch is huge. If you can stay peaceful and grounded and loving and kind and just allow people to be where they are, but just hold them in a beautiful way, that is a huge gift to your community. And then as you hold those kind frequencies, that is a gift to life itself, to our collective human field and all those other fields that we occupy this planet with. We all have lots to give. It just may not be overt. We may not see. We're not all politicians. We're not all activists. We're not all truckers. We're not all, people out there on the front lines. But we can hold good energy. We can hold love. We can hold peace. We can hold those loftier visions. So again, good reading this week. Very, very much about that discernment and then applying force to clean up our lives personally, to clean up the excess, to clean up the junk, to clean up the garbage, to clean up the old stories that no longer serve us, to clean up our old pain and suffering, which is we're dragging our past into our future. We can do this work. One of the tools I'll just remind you guys of, because I've spoken about it here before, is EFT. And on my channel, I have a link to Brad Yates and his emotional freedom technique tapping channel, where he has hundreds of tapping rounds on the various emotional states. And the gift of that is that you can do it whenever you want. Go through, pick a couple that resonate with you, and tap through them. And you'll be amazed. It's a powerful, powerful tool for just releasing that gunk that's in our space, to do that personal pruning. We're like onions. We can release these layers easily with support and help and tools. But one of the ones that I love in particular, because I can do it on my own, and I always leave with greater distinctions about who I am and what I've been up to, but also greater clarity about what I want and how I want to go forward. And I'm always peaceful at the end of doing these EFT tapping rounds with Brad. He's a very intuitive practitioner, and despite it not being a live thing necessarily, there are profound distinctions that just help to shift whole layers of stuff. So I recommend you try it. Okay, so that's Brad Yates. And if you look on my channel, as I said, I have other channels that I like, that I follow, that I put there sort of as resources for you guys, to make it easy to find them. So I hope they do you lots of good. Yeah, there's an astrologer there, Pamela Gold, that's not, I'm getting her name wrong. Anyway, Pam Gregory, there we go. She's there. And she's been a phenomenal, she provides from really wonderful insight on the astrology of the things that we're living through right now. So if you're curious, she does a new moon and a full moon reading. And then she does other ones in between, sort of explaining important things. I love her work because she's very positive and high energy, like high frequency with her astrology. Okay, so moving on. Our card to grow on this week. What is it, Creator, that we need to hold with us? What do we need to focus on? How do we need to be for the coming week to best leverage our power, our wisdom, our resources, so that we are moving in good ways, personally and collectively? Craftsmanship. So that slow, steady application of attention, intention, will, and talent to developing a skill set, a gift set, an ability to bring more of who you are into the world and be of service to life. That is what this card is about. The Pentacles. It is the earth element again, but this lovely idea of craftsmanship, of even mastery ultimately. It's that, again, that slow, deliberate, just coming up, showing up every day, showing up, keep showing up. And that's essentially how we change and how we grow and how we strive and how we reach, is we just keep showing up. Keep saying yes. It's like learning an instrument. You don't learn a musical instrument by playing it once a month. You learn it by doing it every day. And you create that familiarity in your field, and it changes your biology. And before you know it, your fingers can do those weird things they couldn't do before. It's the same thing. This is the quality of the energy that we're looking at for this week. Our card to grow on is keep showing up. You find yourself pulled off by whatever, whether that's the media or what your neighbor says or whatever. You find yourself dragged into polarity. Take that deep breath. Come back to your heart. Come back to your body. And you can even ask yourself, what would love do? If you're feeling particularly triggered. Or not, just remembering, what would love do? This is a discipline. This is a practice like any other. And we can all use it to help us navigate through these times that are so incredibly challenging, and they're pushing us. It's our opportunity to grow. It's nothing like a challenge to really push us to be more than we were and to find ourselves in new ways and learn to stand in that and be in that and express that beautifully in the world. And that's what this is about. This opportunity to show up, to transform, to contribute who we are, to love ourselves through the process, not be too hard on ourselves, and understand that we're all doing it. We're all going through this right now. It's brilliant. It really is. It's wonderful, and it's kind of difficult and challenging and freaky, because change is, because we don't know where it's going to take us. But humanity is at a wonderful place. And we are humanity, each one of us. So where do we want to go? How would you like life on earth to be? Let yourself dream a little and let it inspire you. And you can live it into your own life in little ways, bigger ways. But let that inspiration of that beautiful future call you forward into the right and perfect expression of your gifts right now so that you know how to craft them. That's a great card for this week. I am sending all of you lots and lots of love. I acknowledge you for continuing to walk this path, do your good work, develop yourself. And we all need to get that pat on the back because, these are hard times and it's okay. And we're not going to be perfect and we're not going to get it all done in one day. It's a journey. It's that craftsmanship piece. We just have to keep showing up and applying ourselves. And we will arrive at certain levels of accomplishment and comfort and well-being and ease. And that's wonderful. It makes life so much more enjoyable. And it's part of our evolutionary process as human beings. So thank you for all you're doing. I invite you to close your eyes. Let's take a nice deep breath together. Creator, I want to thank you for this opportunity to be of service here today. I want to thank you for each and every person on this call. I want to thank you for the gift that they are, for all that they hold, for all that they're working through. I ask that you facilitate all of our growth. Provide us with ease and comfort as we move through our challenges. Help us to make it easy to change in good ways. Affirm us, confirm us. Help us to find each other so that we have communities of wonderful, supportive, like-minded people. And that together we can share our vision and get excited together and co-create a world that is so magnificent and uplifting and positive and enlivening, even as we're in the midst of the turbulence of the current expression. Help us to find our peace, our kindness, our compassion, our wisdom, our discernment, so that we can navigate through the chaos personally in beautiful ways and share that coherence of our personal congruence to those around us, to our community, and to the world at large. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who is holding coherence. I want to thank all those who are supporting us on all levels. The reading is at an end again for this week. So it is. Thank you for being here, for being part of it. Thank you for all your good work. We're doing this. Onward and upward, my friends. I will see you next week. Lots of love until then. Bye for now.